Hey, what's up, you guys? For those of you that don't know, my name is RaineMan11, and welcome back to another episode of Building with Rain. I just wanted to show you real quick. I read my mail. It says, the trees look very nice and well made. Dante. Thank you, Dante. Very nice comment. I don't know how to message. It says mail, send, Dante. See, I don't know. Oh, his IGN's probably Sekukius. Thanks, Dante. I appreciate it. Boom. Thanks, Dante. So, and you guys actually enjoyed it a lot too. I want to make it clear that this series isn't really to be popular. If I wanted this series to be sort of, I guess, like more well known, there's a lot I can do in the video title. And like, if I wanted this series to get a lot of views, I would have the title say how to build a custom tree in Minecraft, whereas my title says building with RaineMan11 custom trees. So I do these things for a reason. Like, I don't really want this series to be like, I wanted, of course, to have views and get support, but I don't really mind. You know, series is really for me. It's a way for me to just sort of relax. I don't really get to just sit and relax and just sort of build, and that's what I like doing. So last episode we did these trees here, and I also added some bushes. I don't know if I did all of this on camera. I forget now. And you guys seem to help people, and for some of these trees they're still lackluster. Like this one, I would do that maybe. I don't know, like in my opinion, you'll never get it perfect. You'll never get your trees perfect. There's always going to be something. So this area over here is done. There's nothing else we need to do to it. It's completely finished, okay? Now, over here is the next part we're going to start working on. Now, over here, if you remember, we did a landscaping, then we did trees, and then we did bushes and some other stuff. We mixed around those last two steps. Now, you would think that we'd do the same thing over here, right? We did landscaping. Now you would think we'd go to trees and bushes already. Wrong. Because we're going to do a building, we need to start here. Let me just say, should I say hi? I won't yet. We need to start working on the building first. And this is just because we need to make sure that everything fits and coincides well with each other. So my actually recording crashed, but this is what I was sort of trying to go over. When we build buildings, there are two different things I've learned that people do. The first thing we're not going to do because we don't need to, but what I've seen people do is, like, if you're working on a huge massive build, you want to lay it out. And what I see people do is they make boxes, little boxes of just how big the build is going to be and where it's going to set. And they do this all over, okay? You might see it sometimes. You may have seen this. That's what they do. Since we're only going to do, like, maybe one or two buildings, like maybe have a little building or a campfire site over here, we're not going to necessarily need to do that. When we get later on in the series, when we get bigger plots, I may end up doing that because I may have an idea right now, and if I don't write it down using the green wool or whatever, I'm going to forget the idea. And so in this case, I don't really have like an overall idea. I have a mental picture, and so we don't necessarily need to do that. The next thing is we want to make a build palette. Sort of like when you're painting, like Bob Ross paints, he has a color palette right here. We need to do this as well when we're building, because we want to be able to just right click and pick block on all the stuff behind us, and it makes it easier for us when we're building, right? I personally just don't like to have all of it in one hand, but that's just me. So at this, we can just pick from our disposal, and if I ever need to add something, sometimes when I'm just going to use it for like one little thing, like if I'm just going to use orange wool for like right there, and that's it, I'm not going to add it to the color palette because I'm not going to continuously reference it. Or in leaves and stuff like that, if I've already used the block in the build, I don't necessarily put it down. So let me talk about this build a little bit. We are going to go for a little tiny cabin. Not really detailed, doesn't need to be a whole lot detailed. A little tiny cabin with a furnace place on the side. Now, because we are in a overgrown, jungly, forest type area, we want to make our blocks sort of have the essence that it's overgrown. So we're going to use the moss stone and cobblestone as well. For the interior, I want to use, oh, this is a stair. See, this is why. Sometimes you gotta build on the right side. For the interior, we're just gonna use all cobblestone. And so what I've already done is I've just laid out a little box. Now this is really tiny, but you're gonna understand why. Is like, well, if we did a huge build, it wouldn't look very in place. So we're just gonna make a box real quick. We're gonna make it completely filled box, and I'll show you why. It helps with building the other stuff later. And we're just gonna fill these in like this. So this is sort of our house so far, right? Now, I must say, honestly, me personally, just right here, see how this sort of tops off right there, and you have all these are blended, that tops off. One thing I love about building with texture packs is that the connected textures in it. So now what we want to do is we want to pick our windows. So over here I'm gonna have a window, and over here I'm gonna have a window, and then this is gonna be the door. Over here is gonna be a totally different block, which I forgot to get, is the brick. Right here, brick, and we can put that down over here. Over here I'm going to use brick, and I'm going to actually have it a layer off, because right here is going to be our furnace, like fireplace type thing. And we're going to build this now just because it's not that hard to build, unless you get really detailed with some bigger builds. It does get sort of confusing, but for the most part these aren't that difficult. Just looking for the blocks, brick slabs, there we go. So we're just gonna build up a little furnace, and then I actually am going to do that and that. There we go. And I don't know how tall this is gonna be, but that's essentially how big. That's our chimney right there. That's our little chimney pot, and we can have one like that. Yeah, there you go. Looks good. Now in here, let's work on the Windows side. So I usually, if you talk to my friends that are also builders, you would find that I use a lot of the same techniques when I build, not by like, just by accident, I guess. I use a lot of the same stuff though, and so try not to, but it's sort of hard. So what I want to do is I'm just going to make a little platform. This is sort of like our windowsill, and I'm going to grab these two cobblestone walls, and I'm just going to go like this. And since this is right here, I want to actually do that right here, just to sort of give the impression that this is all here. And then on top of it, we want to take, did I grab stone brick? I did. Actually, let's grab stone slabs. Top of this, gonna do this right there, just to sort of even it off. And now we'll take our cobblestone, and we'll add another layer to it. Cool. And so now this becomes our, oops, wrong block. This becomes our window right here. This is what it's gonna look like. We're gonna repeat this, not fully, but somewhat on the other side. I really wish there was mossy cobblestone stairs. It would actually help a lot with building, just so you have even tones. But sadly, we don't actually have that. Over here, this is the entrance. Okay, so we need to sort of think entrance-wise. If I'm gonna have an entrance, I'm gonna have sort of a patio shelter thing, like over top. Just in case it's raining, I just want to stand up front. And now we want to take our blocks and ooh, forgot about that. Is it up one then? I think it might be up one, yeah. Cool. What I actually am gonna do is I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna go like this. I just sort of like how that looks for some reason. So we'll do that. Okay. And then over here is going to be sort of weird because we need to tie it in to the to this, but we don't want it to tie too much in. So we're just going to go like that. Yeah, that'll work. Maybe, honestly, see up here, this might want to be bricks. And then up here, we'll take a stair and sort of, because you got to make it flow. You don't want it to just be oh, so maybe now over here we do that. Boom. There we go. That finishes that off. Now for the roof. Roofing, I usually just take an exterior block. So let's take this, and I go around. And this is actually a design that my friend Twix uses a lot. I actually I've grown to like it. I've grown to like it a lot because it works with these type of builds. And we're just gonna go here. And you can come up with a lot of different patterns. I found like this is just one pattern, but there's a lot of patterns that you can do where maybe I rotate every 3 or and stuff like that. And so you just got to you want to get creative. You don't want it to be just one block, I suppose. Now again, over here it's gonna get sort of weird because of the under thing. So maybe we do that, and we'll see how that looks. I don't want it to look too out of place, so just gotta be careful. Yeah. And this building is already looking sort of tall as well. Now, what I want to do up here is I want this to be sort of a cone. And that's why I got this white wool. Because up here I want it to go... well, let's grab our cobblestone. And we'll lay our cobblestone down. Okay. Let's actually grab brick. Oh, we can't. Here we go. And that will be there. Let's grab brick though. I'll just go. I just want to do. Do I want it to have it 1? I don't know if I want to have it 1 or not. We'll see. We'll see how it looks. Okay. And then I like to take a darker wood. So we're gonna take like spruce, and we're gonna fill this in. And with roofing, I'm not actually the best when it comes to roofing because, I don't know, just a lot of my builds I tend not to focus too much on it. It sounds weird, but it's just one of those things, I don't know. It's just sort of never been a focus, I guess. Just trying to make sure this doesn't get too tall. Cool. And then normally this would have a white wool here, so we're just gonna put down. But I actually want to do this. Let's get, what is this, spruce? Yeah, so let's get some spruce, and we'll do that. Cool. Now that's actually not necessary there. And then we'll put these on. We'll just I don't know. And then we'll put full block. And then I'm actually gonna raise this high and then end it off. Boom. Doesn't look half bad. I actually like that, sort of. Maybe actually have this over here go out one more. Maybe? Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And then up here, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do regular glass. Not gonna worry too much about colored glass, especially when you're working with texture packs. Like my texture pack that I'm using right now changes all the different types of glass, so I don't really want it to stick out. So we're not gonna worry about that. Now, this is essentially finished. We want to add some bushes around and some different path blocks. In here, I'm not going to worry too much about it just because of I don't really plan on anybody being in here. So, I'm not going to worry a lot about like interior design. I usually don't, honestly. But what I do want to do, because just in case they do come in here, them being the people that judge me, just gonna make a little fireplace type thing, which we do that, and then let's just have a fire. Not gonna get too crazy. There's actually a really cool design that I have for a fireplace, but it's not necessarily or it's not really, you don't really need it. Cool. And one thing always with your doors is make sure that your doors are, see, that's an oak door. Always have them on the inside. That way you have depth and you show depth there. Main key is depth. You see here we have different layers to the build. There's this layer and it goes back. And this layer goes back. Really, I actually like the fireplace. Last thing is smoke out of the fireplace. And I've seen like people do this differently. Let's see if I can show you any examples. I don't see I can find any examples around. But a lot of people... Ooh, did I forget a block? Right there. Oh, did I forget it? That's where I forgot it. Oh, that's why, because it works there. Okay. I've seen people use string, or not string, cobweb, and then they just go like this. So to make it wrap around. I think that will work, but it's just, you got to be careful with it. Again, with the whole texture pack thing, you want to be careful because it might not look fantastic. So what I want to do is I want to have sort of just a just like a path, like a opening gate, like that, just to symbolize that this is the way he gets in. And we're gonna get into paths next episode. Next episode we're going to do like a path to get over to the campsite and stuff like that. But for right now, this is actually looking a lot better. It looks good. Honestly, I really like how this turned out. And it will look even better once we add our bushes to it. So that's all I got though for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope this sort of helped a bit. Just a small little cabin that will hopefully look a lot better once we add some more things. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make a comment down below if you have any questions or comments, and give me some feedback on how I'm doing. We'll see you guys next episode.